Hello everybody to my little channel about wargames and conflict simulations. Today I have a new video about Let's Play. And the game is The Great War in Europe Deluxe from Ted Racer, published by GMT. I have a little channel with a lot of videos about wargames. I'm wargaming since 30 years, I think. And all of the movies since today are in German language because I'm from Germany, from Cologne. It's here on the map, other side. So this is my home country, Cologne, and yes, all the videos are in German language, and this is the first one in English. And so be patient with my English language skills. They are not the best, I think, but I hope you'll enjoy this video, and this video should be a start for a series from of the Great War, because I made the first season in German language. You found it in my channel, and it takes, I think, 13 episodes. And yes, it was a disaster for the Central Powers, because the German made some very big mistakes. They tried to took Warsaw in German, here the capital of Russian Poland, and in this attempt they get be surrounded by Russian reinforcements and get cut off from supply, and lost a whole army. The 8th Army was annihilated nearly. And the second big mistake was in the Battle of Krakow, where the Austrians not really good made a not really good defense position there. And when Krakow fell, then then there was a lot of other troops without supply, and they were annihilated as well. So this is this was the first season, and and in the West I made not much success, I thought, with the Germans, because I planned to use the right flank, like the Schlieffenplan, which has the orders to go through Belgium and to outflank the French defense position. And I made a try to go through the woods here in the Ardennes, to go directly through Sedan. But in the end, the French forces bottled me up, and there was no progress and no victory. Cities catched for the Germans. So yes, it was a disaster, I would like to say. And so now I hope I will do it a little bit better. And in this first video about this this good game, I made the setup decisions mostly, not all in the end, I see, because I made the setup for the French. They had a lot of units and a long front line to cover, and I packed 3 units in every hex, with the exception of Belfort. There's a 4, and there are only 2 units needed. And of course, here in the northern area, there is a special rule that the French can only deploy 10 units there, and so there's only 2 stacked. And the English, the BEF, the British Expedition Force, has to deploy here in the area of Mons, a little Belgian town, and they deployed so that they were very compact, not to attack easily and in piecemeal. So they are very compact there, and to don't get surrounded by the German cavalry, who is very quick in the first turns, because all the units here at the Western Front get double movement allowance. The movement allowance is always the last digit on the counters, and they have 6, and so they had a movement allowance from 12, and this is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So they could easily surround the English troops. And so I decided to put the French cavalry units to defend the supply sources in the rear. And what I actually not have done to the end is the setup from the headquarters. And I think I will do it like this. Yeah, I think this is enough. It's not really important, in my opinion, in the first turn, but yeah, we can look. So the Allied has to deploy first the English people, the English forces, then the French forces. The French had 3 good units. You see it here from a German unit. This one, where is somewhere? Yeah, this one is a 344 unit. And the first digit is the attack factor, the second is the defense factor. And if a unit has only 2 numbers, like the 4-4 here beneath them, then it's really a 4-4-4. So 4 attack, 4 defense, and 4 movement points. And yes, the French forces has a maximum of 3 defense factors. They had a lot of this 3-4 units and a lot of here this 2-3-4. So in a stack with 3 units, they have always a defense factor of 9. So it's a game with fog of war. So the players can only see the front, the topmost unit in a stack, and but you can easily count that it is 9. But the French has 3 special units. And these are units with this 3-4-4. That's colonial troops. I think the Foreign League or something. Fremdenlegion in German. And these troops are stacked undercover. So yeah, obviously I played Solitaire, so I know where they are, because yeah, not exactly in reality, because I set them up first, and then I set up the whole East Front with all the things, and after that I made a pause, and but yeah, I think the Germans' plan in the Western theater is the following. He always has good. Yes, there's always these 9 factors to be count. And they have headquarters. Here the 7th Army is planning 2 assaults. I put it here, normally these 3 units here in this hex, these 3 units in this hex, this one, and so you can see the hexes where no one is in it is always these stacks. So you can easily see what is in the hexes. Here are a little bit tricky, but this one is there, this one is there. So, and yes, every attack stack has about 18 factors, so it is always a 2-to-1. And the defense bonus for the area, for the terrain effects, the modifiers is a shift modifier. And you get it here in the mountains, and also in the rough area here around Verdun is the rough area, and behind rivers. So this is a column shift, and so attack here in the mountain is a 2-to-1, and with this column shift is a 1-to-1. And this is obviously not very good for the Germans, but they have these special headquarters. And they are fully deployed their troops in the outbreak of the war, and brought them to the front line, and the headquarters representing artillery support. And this gives also a column shift. So in the end, here in the mountains, I think it's this column shift needed to to counter effect the mountain effect, and also the effect of these 3-4-4 colonial units from the French. And I will see how it works. And there are a lot of 3-to-1 attacks and 2-to-1 attacks, and perhaps some 1-to-1 attacks. But this is planned because in my first game, or in the last season, it's not my first game, I played a lot of games in the meantime. But in the last game, I made only high odds attacks, so 4-to-1 and 5-to-1. And this doesn't produces a lot of damage and broken counters and killed counters. So this Let's Play tried to do another way, and to attack in force and to make a lot of damage, and probably damaged by the troops themselves, or by the German troops also. But perhaps it's a way to go. Okay, this is the attack factors against the French, and here are a little battle around Namur against the Belgian fort, and this attack against these British troops in Mons. Yes, before we resolve the attacks, I show us the other theater of war. It's the East Front, from the Baltic Sea to the Adriatic Sea and Black Sea here in the eastern region. And there's a lot of Russian troops, the dark green Russian troops deployed in 3 distinct armies: in the South Army with the S counter, and in the Second Army, and in the First Army here in the north, in the near of Kovno, or Kaunas, like we say in German. And the First and the Second Army couldn't work together. It's a historical special rule, because this has to reflect the Tannenberg success from the German General Ludendorff and Hindenburg, who commanded the 8th Army and who sacked the Russian Second Army. As a Russian player, I prefer to build up the South Army near the eastern edge, so that the Austrians maximum can deploy to this point here at Tarnów, and not more in the west. And then to deploy the Warsaw Second Army in the south, and go south and support this South Army, and go against the Austrians, to kill as many Austrians as possible, so to kick out them first in the game. And as you see here, the Austrians had a solid line standing against the Russians, and the Russians planned their attacks. And because the Austrians, also the central player, can see what is in the stacks when they are in Russian Poland, and at Germany or Austria-Hungary, there's a spy network or something else. So they can see the stacks and what is in, and the Russians have no decisions to do with headquarters, because they don't have headquarters in the first round. They get them later. And so I looked at the odds, and here is always a 1-to-1 odd and a 4-to-1 odd here in the end. The reason for this is a special rule. The Russians and also the French get a 1 column shift as a special rule in the first 2 turns, because they are not fully deployed for war, or not fully engaged with ammunition and such things, and the headquarters and such things. So they get these not benefit, the opposite of it. And but as a Russian, you get a lot of power, a lot of new troops, and it doesn't care. You have not much to care about your losses. And the Austrians get really nothing, nearly nothing. And so every counter killed is a good thing for the Russian, and even if they killed some by themselves, it doesn't matter. Yes, in the north against the German have the 8th Army, and it's a strong army with a lot of 4-4 units and 3-4-4 units. It's not easily to kill this army, especially if you cannot combine your troops here with the 1st and the 2nd Army. And so against the Germans, the Russians is on a defensive position, and the Germans are the one who go on the attack, and they will try to capture Lomza in the first round. But not again Warsaw. I think this is too risky. But no, we will see. So, and the other thing is the last is not the last, the pre-last is the Serbs, Serbia, die Serben in German. They are attacking the Austrians near Sarajevo, or between Sarajevo and Belgrade, and they have to go over this river here and make an attack. And because there's also nothing to decide, I looked what is in, and it's a 2-to-1 attack. It's also risky. In the last game, I waited with the Serbian forces for this attack till the Austrians are really in danger from the Russians. But I think when I don't attack now in the very first round, as an Austrian, what I really would do in my first Austrian round is to go back to Sarajevo and build a strong position in Sarajevo. So there's only one chance to attack, and after that, this chance is gone, because why should the Austrians stay in the front line? I think it's the best decision. So what I don't have prepared is the special force here in the middle. There are some troops. The Austrians pushed forth and back in the first days of the war, because they couldn't decide in the end where to move these troops. And so the designer decided that the player has the same decision to do, move it to the south against the Austrians or to the north against the Russians. And I think the Russians are the more potent enemy. And so they have to go to the north, and here are some ways around the Carpathian Mountains where they can easily reinforce the front line. And I think this is the best way to put them here near this pass. This is the last thing I forgot to do before the setup is finished. So there are six is the stacking limit. Perhaps I cannot do 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I think this is better. And the cavalry as well. The cavalry are special troops, but I will explain what the special factor is for them later on when it comes to this. So now the setup is completed, and the first movement phase is also completed, because the Serbs were going to in the front, the Russians going forward and try to capture, to kill some Austrians. Here in the north, they defend Kaunas and the fortresses, and also this little town here, Libau, because the Germans deployed this cavalry unit here, and if you don't put a unit at this town, then it easily capture it, and then it's surrounded here in the backyards and so on. It's not nice. So, but you don't have to have a solid front line, complete front line, but you have to look at your supply sources. In the other way, the Germans are going wild. Now it's yes, I'll come to this situation later. Okay, so take a look at the at the game turn record track, and we see it's the first August turn, and then came a second one, and then is a strategic turn A, where a lot of reinforcements are coming for the French, a little bit for the very little bit for the Germans, and for the Russians also a lot. And yeah, so it will go. So we have now the first movement phase is also on the West Front finished, because as I said, these troops are all in the front line hexes, and now we make the battles one after another. And as this proceeds, we see how it works, how the success for the German attack works. So the first one is this attack against this stack here, and as we see, it's 3, 3, 3. So it's 9 factors, and we have 2, 5, 9, and 9 is 2 to 1. And the mountains is 101, and I have the headquarter nearby, and I flip the headquarter, and so it's a 2 to 1 attack. And yeah, let the die roll. It's a 6. Okay, it starts very good, and this is 0, 0, and 3. So all three units from the French are killed. I like it. And from German, nothing. And the German have to decide who will advance after combat. So, yeah, I think it's easier than I thought, because this one is in the back. I can easily go full to the front. Okay. So the second attack is against this hex. There's the 6th army attacking, and here's the same. There are 9 factors, and the attack factor is also 18, and this is a 2 to 1 as well. And I roll the dice. The die, it's a 2, and the 2 is 2 for the Germans. Yes, this was not so good. So, so I can choose which one to kill, and these two counters, these 2 divisions. So the next one is from these 2 hexes against these hex, and this is not a mountain, so it's not affected. Give no column shift, and we have 9, so it's a natural 2 to 1. And I can decide to use the headquarter, but these have also to fight against it, and perhaps there is this column, these colonial troops, and therefore I will not use it now in this battle. And it's a 2 to 1. It's in another 6. You know, it's 3 losses. And we can advance after combat. And this is the same like before, that the whole stack can move forward. I put them, I put only 1 cavalry division, because yeah, it's in this situation it doesn't matter a lot, because the French are not in the position to make really good counterattacks. But in the game there are 2 different combat result tables. One is for the battles against 1 to 3 defending units, and one is for 4 to 6 defending units. And the one with 4 to 6 defending units is very bloody. And if you are in the defense, then you have to look if it is really worth put 4 units in a hex. I think it's every time it's better to 5 or 6, because then the odds not going too high. And but 4 is always not a good choice, in my opinion. Okay, then is the next attack from these 2 hexes against this one here, and surprise, surprise, it's 9 again, 2 to 1, and now this headquarter cannot support any other attack. I can say spare it for the next round, but why I should do it? So it's now a 3 to 1, a 3 to 1, and we hope for a good. Oh, I roll a lot of lucky 6s today, and this means that another 3 units are gone, and that I didn't had to use these headquarter. So now it's not so clear what to do, but I put it this way. So, and this headquarter was at this position. Okay, these 2 groups attacking this one, and now it's also 9, because I think I put it where the good defensive positions are in the Verdun area. So it's another 2 to 1, and yes, these 2 units has to attack. This is also a clear hex, and this is a rough hex. I attack this with these troops. It's also a 2 to 1, and I don't put the headquarter in the battle. It's a 5. It's also not bad. 2 to 1 is 1 2, 1 German and 2 French. So 2 French, and the 1 German is perhaps this 3-4 unit, but no advance after combat, so they stay here, this position. No, not this hex, because it couldn't be reached from both of them. This hex is oh, don't see it. It's this hex with the forest, and the forest doesn't give a column shift in the first rounds. It's only in winter times when weather is wet or snow. Then the forest gives a column shift. So now it's the same if there is no, it's 9 again, so it's 2 to 1, and again I put this 4th headquarter in the battle, so it's a 3 to 1. Yeah, that's unbelievable. Perhaps I have to change the die, but you can really believe me, it's unbelievable. So I would like to have such dice in my games against real opponents, but yes, you cannot have all the things together. So I can move forward, and I will do it. So, but in the end, I think now it's a little bit more difficult. So here is the area around between Longwy and Sedan, and there is a situation that the French could only put 10 units on these 5 hexes, and I decided to put 3 units here in these hex, because this I thought it's the worst, not the worst, the most wertvoll. I don't know the expression actually. And okay, first these 2 guys attacking this one, and the second attack is against this hex. The 3rd army is attacking, and I think here is, no, it's 6. It's 6, and it's rough. So 6, and you have 3 what have I done here? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. This one, 9. And 5 is 14. Against 6 is a 2-1. Mountain is a 1-1. Or a rough. 6, 14, yeah. Even it was the colonial units, then I had enough for a 1-1. Yes, this is a 1. And a 1 is 2 losses in the German. And they put 2 cavalry units. It's not so bad. Because they have no, they are has to absorb the losses. Okay, now this one, there is also 6. Okay, so the colonial troops are unharmed, and I have 4, 5, 6, 10, again 14. And here I use the headquarter. I had better use the headquarter in this battle, but when you roll a 1, then it doesn't matter where to use it. This is a 2-1 and now a 3-1. 3-1 and again a 1. It's 2 Germans, 1 French. So a lot of 6s, a lot of 1s. It's crazy. 1 French only, sorry. And 2 Germans. And I think these cavalry units are the best choice. Okay, here we go. So, and yes, now is the battle from Namur. The Belgian troops defending with a factor of 3, and such a fort had an intrinsic factor of 1, so it's 4. And we have here around 3, 6, 10. 10, 12, 15, 15, and 6, 22, 21. 21, it's 5-1. The fortress is a column shift 4-1. The city is a column shift 3-1. I could do this with this headquarter, but I think it's better not to do it. 3-1 is for me okay, because no, it is possible. No, I put the headquarter in it because then I'm really sure that the fortification will fall, will be destroyed. The one exception is I roll a 1, but with a 5, 4-1, the Belgian troops are out of the game. Not really out of the game, but for a moment. And the fort is destroyed. And the Germans can occupy it. Yeah, what I had missed is I made a mistake because I don't take care of my rear guards. I will change it because this is a lousy fort. These guys here in the woods, these forces, I will put it here on this front to to make a bolster against the French and the English troops. So yeah, I think this is because if I don't do this, then the English troops can easily surround here. These troops go to Brussels and capture the headquarters, or this lonely in Brussels, and then the game is not really over, but it's very strange, I would like to say. Okay. Here against this group is attacking this whole force from these 2 axes with 4, 8, 12, 3, 6, 9, 21 in each stack. 21 is 42, and there are 6, 12, 14, and so it's a 3 to 1, and the English headquarter, the British headquarter, made it a 2 to 1. 2 to 1, and 4, 2 to 1, 4 is 1 German and 2 British. So, and because these are special troops from the British army, they are elite troops. They have a good factors 5, 6, and 4, but they have also this yellow little point in the rear, in the right corner, and this means this is not replaceable. And so the first loss will be take this cavalry unit, and the second loss is from this one or the other. It's the same, and because they are underlined, the numbers, then they are 2 step factors, 2 step units, and in the back is 3, 4, 4, also a good unit, but they cannot replace it to the 5, 6, 4. So this is the reason why the German like to attack these groups. So, and the German had 1 loss. This is this one, and cannot advance. So I will stack the whole units here, and also here. So yes, this is the situation here on this part of the front, and yeah, I have to close this ring to this front line, to close it, because in the other way, yeah, you can easily surround them, and if the English British troops capture Brüssel, then all the troops here in the north are not nearly out of supply, because I have Ghent also. But if Ghent also falls, yeah, then it would be a problem to hold these troops there. So, okay, yeah, we can take a look at the losses. There is a lot of losses, and this is what I would like to accomplish with this strategy. But I have to say they are very good. Very good die rolls for the German, but also a lot of German troops are killed, and it's a 2 to 1 ratio. For every German unit is 2 Allied units. And in the first game, I think, in the last season, I think it was a little bit different. I think it was about 1 to 3. But not so many. I have to check it. Okay, it's now we have 40 minutes in this video, and it's a lot, and I don't want to talk so long. The Eastern Front is the episode of the next video, and perhaps also here the French counter move and the British counter move, and this is a thing for the next video. So many thanks for listening and watching this video, and perhaps we see us next time in the next video. Many thanks, bye bye, and tschüss.